I was super surprised to see how many people had really attended, given the fact that throughout the years I've attended a bunch of crypto conferences, and to see how many serious people there were at this conference was a great surprise. It was a revitalization of my opinion out in the market, how many people, not only within Spain, but from all over the world that came especially to attend this conference. It was a good thing to see. I think the digital asset space, I don't want to use crypto because that has a really bad connotation, but like the digital asset space is really evolving now. It's maturizing at such a huge rate, where you really are seeing valuable collaboration. I think in the last couple of years there were people building in silos, but then if they were collaborating, the collaboration was more marketing driven than it was actually value accrual. And so, now you're seeing people really wanting to add value via collaboration. And that's where, the people that are bullish on this space really evolving over the short and mid-term are really going to see the most amount of value. That's where the real kind of driver and the innovation is going to take place. And it's something that I'm doing, right? I'm here at EBC to do just that, to find valuable collaborators amongst an incredibly impressive audience to add value to the next short term, because I don't want to mess around anymore. I want to really build something that's going to impact not only the lives of customers that we touch, but also the lives of industry that we operate in. Right, so Fasanara is an asset manager and technology fund. We do a bunch of crypto trading as well as venture funds. But my sole purpose as head of special projects is to seek the various ways in which Web3 technology and blockchain technology can really impact the fund itself and the way in which we operate, traditionally throughout the years as well as going forward. So what I'm really looking for in particular is companies that kind of meet the mandate of what I kind of seek to use Web3 technology to evolve the business. And that might be, companies that are pursuing tokenization of real world assets. It might be protocols, both for layer 1 and layer 2s. It might be guys that are focusing on core DeFi mechanics that we can potentially partner with and leverage. So, the spread of diversity of personnel at this conference has really kind of shown that value to be there, but also quite substantially the quality. And I think, having gone to so many crypto conferences in the past and you don't necessarily see the decision makers, the quality of personnel at that conference, and it's merely individuals that'll introduce you to the decision makers, that's not valuable to me. I want to have a conversation with decision makers and heads of departments, executives, senior representatives, founders, and that's what I'm kind of finding on day one here, which is really surprising. Yeah, I was having this conversation with someone earlier, and I think people need to, operators in the space really need to step up the extent to which they conduct due diligence. You cannot be in the space and not know or be educated on how these core systems work, right? How cryptocurrencies are transacted, or how the blockchain enables that. What is DeFi? What is CeFi? What is a decentralized exchange? What is a centralized exchange? What does custody mean, right? And how those things have evolved to the present day, and what people are vocalizing is the expansion of opportunities for innovation to take place. The risk resides within the naivety in your assumption of what those things are and where they're heading to, right? That's where the manipulation is, that's where the exploitation is, that so many people have been affected by in a very negative way. And I think the very basic of just informing yourself and then using a basic set of just, applying a basic due diligence, background check. Who is this person? Do I find them credible? Who is their team? How does that comprise? What is the traction of whatever they've done in the past and whatever their history is, as well as what is their traction today? And then what is the product that they're trying to sell, right? Am I a partner in that? Am I an investor in that? Am I going to acquire it? And what does that commercial strategy look like? If you don't have a basic understanding of what those sets are, those structures are, then you need to take a step back. And I think it's okay to take a step back when things are moving so fast forward. It's important to take the step back. It's a mature thing to do, to take a step back and familiarize yourself with the core fundamentals of the space, so that you can make a really good informed decision. And that's kind of what I say to a lot of people is just take a step back. If you don't understand it, take a step back. Make sure that you understand it before you progress in a conversation. I think that over-regulation is a bad thing. It really is. I think it will constrict and prevent and hinder innovation. It'll create underground kind of dark webs of products and services that we don't want. But then under-regulation is also quite a bad thing, because a lot of people then are exposed to manipulation and exploitation. So I think there is kind of needs to be this beautiful mix that we've never had, and I don't think we ever will. But this beautiful mix of staying informed as to how certain products and services have evolved, and where they've made mistakes and where they've been shut down, right? FTX, Luna, Celsius, 3 Arrows Capital. Learning from those and understanding how to apply a set of lenses on companies that are trying to do fairly similar things, and understanding with that set whether it's good or bad, right? And then seeing if the regulator, if at all, is reacting to that space in any way, shape or form. And I wouldn't rely on any one regulator to be the golden standard, right? The SEC has its flaws, the FCA has its flaws, right? But a combination of independent and centralized regulators is important for you to apply that lens to whatever you're immersing yourself in, especially in this space. It's so uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable, right? You come to a conference like this and everyone's moving at 100 miles an hour in different directions. They're trying to teach you at the same time that they're trying to sell you. And I find it such a beautiful mix of diverse individuals. No one's the same. No one's a corporate robot, and no one's an introverted nerd, there's this beautiful mix of different characters, different builders, and you know, I'm an inherent nerd, so I love learning about new things. I like being uncomfortable, and so you know, I'd be dead if I was just kind of trading a strategy in a big fund or a big bank in Canary Wharf in London. Being here, learning, leading a strategy that I don't know what it will look like in 2 days versus 6 months or the next hour. But that's quite exciting. I think, it gets you up in the morning not knowing what your day's going to look like and what you're going to uncover. And I think that gives it really good purpose and a reason to get up in the morning because it's so uncomfortable. And I look forward to meeting new people and having those discussions because that's what's really exciting.